Welcome back to the Culturally Distinct Podcast. Your boy DJ K. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. It's a long time coming. I'm glad you guys tuned in. Much love to the women. It's National Women's Month. Y'all see me, I got to give a shout out to another black influential individual, Nina Simone. As you know, she had a couple of songs, Misunderstood, Strange Fruit, For Colored Women. She has multiple ones. If you haven't heard her catalog, make sure you go hit that up because she was very influential in our community, and not just in our community, but in the European community. She tapped into that realm. So make sure you guys go hit her up. Also, I'd like to give a big shout out to my sponsors, 605 Adult Beverages. Much love to you guys. It's almost summertime. It's spring, so it's almost margarita time. So guys, make sure you go hit 605 up. They're at Drink ALP6. Much love to them. Also, much love to my partnerships over at at our Red Core Universe. Much love to you guys. We've been doing some big things. We got a lot of big interviews coming up, like the one I have today. It's a big interview. Like, you might know this person, but you don't know her, right? When I met her, she was a ghost. I heard about her, but I never met her in real life. I didn't even know she exists. I thought it was an actual company name. You know what I'm saying? So, because the name is like a unique name, right? So, I'd like everybody to welcome to the show Miss Ige Johnson. Hey. How you doing, man? Awesome. So, look, it's not too often that, you get a person that is beautiful.
Thank you.
That is successful, and that is down to earth, right? And you have that total package for all three. And one reason why I brought you up here, because you're like an anomaly, right? When I say that, I mean like the average retirement age in the United States is 65 to 75 maybe, right? 65 to 70, but you retired real early.
I did.
So what? First of all, before we even get into that, I want the people to get to know who you are. Who? Well, that's the fully loaded question.
Right.
Let's see, Ige, where are you from?
Oh, I'm an H-Town girl.
Oh, shout out to H-Town. Hey. What part of H-Town?
All over Houston.
Okay.
So originally, I was born in Fifth Ward. Everybody know.
Yeah.
Out to the Fifth.
Okay.
But I've actually lived on different sides of Houston, north side, south side, went to Willow Ridge, went to Nimitz. So we moved around. So I'm an H-Town girl.
Okay. So now I'm not from Houston. So now you said Nimitz, right? Nimitz.
Nimitz.
Isn't that the hood?
No,
Kinda,
it's
sorta?
north side. Well, so when I was there, it wasn't.
Okay.
Right? It might be now. It's like Aldine School District. So,
Oh, okay.
but
Like
not when I
Mexicans
was
over
there.
there. I got
Right.
you.
But I went to Kashmir. So that's north side.
Okay.
So I was a Kashmir Ram.
Shout out to Kashmir.
Yeah.
Hey, I got you. So, H-Town, and how did you even? First of all, what do you do? Because all right, so I don't want to get into it this early because it's so many questions I want to ask. Especially as a sister, and in the Houston area that's doing big things. But it's like a lot of people, especially a lot of investors, they're gonna have a lot of questions about how she did it so fast, and how she moved like this. So, what do you do?
Ooh. I guess I'm a serial entrepreneur. I do a lot of things. I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Right? I started out in real estate.
Okay.
That's kind of how I started on my entrepreneurship journey. Well, I guess I would say even before then, my mother was very influential
Okay.
with me growing up. My mother was an entrepreneur. And so I think I started really early with her business. And then coming from that, she did an amazing job. And so, but she just couldn't get to that next thing. So,
Right.
but for me, it was real estate. That's kind of how I got my foot in the door. And so I did that for, oh my gosh, I've been in the industry for about 20 years now.
Okay.
And
20
so
years. You look like you're like 20 yourself. You're talking
I
about
know,
20
right?
years. All right.
That's
Black don't crack,
black
y'all.
woman, right?
Hey,
It's the black thing, honey.
I got you.
And so, so yeah, I started, that on that journey about 20 years ago, and I've done some great things in this industry. Like I have been, on some of the biggest stages in real estate leadership. I owned a Remax franchise, and yeah, so I sold that 2 years ago and retired.
So, all right. So hold up. So you're moving fast now, because you made some major steps, and I know you have a vast majority of awards that you won for people that have been in the industry for a long time. But
Yeah.
seem like we said 20 years, but it seems like you're much younger. But a person of your caliber. When I say a person of your caliber, a young black woman,
Hmm.
right? It's 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 not impossible because you did it.
Right.
I want to know, how did you do it? Like,
Mm.
how did you do it? Like the financial decisions that you made at a younger age, because you had to start young.
Right.
So run me through your younger process.
So, well, let me say I'm 46, so I'm not that young, but I'm
Okay.
not old either. So, but yeah, I'm one of those people. I felt like I'm responsible. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna enjoy life. I'm gonna live life, but at the same time, I'm not reckless.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I have, saved money, put money to the side. When I was making money, I learned those financial heartbreaks and heartaches
Yes.
early on in my career. I started out as a loan officer and a loan processor back in 2008, and the industry was going amazing, right, before, and then everything just stopped. And so I had to learn going from making $230,000 a year to making 25,000.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Wow.
Lifestyle
That was
change.
total
For real.
lifestyle change, but you figure it out,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so a lot of times people don't have those conversations, but on this journey, it's you have your ups and downs, right? You have your. I always say everything happens for me and not to me.
Okay.
That was a great learning lesson, and I'm so glad that I learned it very early on, because in my mind I was like, oh, I'll just close another deal. I can spend this money and I'll just close another deal. But because that happened
Mm-hmm.
for me and not to me, I was able to learn to save, to put money to the side, understanding, have at least 12 months worth of all of your bills put aside, because
Mm.
you never know what will or can happen. And I've always said, well, you know what? I know the one thing that I won't go 12 months unless there's like, life altercating things, illness or whatever. But I know that I won't go 12 months without a salary. So at least if I have 12 months put away, I'll make money in between that time. So it was just a learning lesson that I learned very early on when it came down to money management.
So now that is super odd.
Mm,
I'm gonna say that because saving in our community
mm,
is a word that is
right,
depleted, right?
right,
Now we have a lot of financial people now, like Earn Your Leisure. You have your Dave Ramsey's out there. You have multiple individuals that talk about financial strategies and financial intelligence,
right,
but prior to that, they didn't have that.
right.
So
Back then they
now,
didn't have that.
so how did you learn? Because you said you went from 230,000 a year to 20,000. That's a lifetime change. One, two, and you also said that you saved up for a year emergency,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
Was that taught, or was that
No,
just
that was
hard
from
school of hard knocks?
School of Hard Knocks and being terrified. I was a mother at 19, right?
Okay, got you.
And so it was
Hmm.
a promise that I made when he was 6 months. And so for me, I had to keep that promise. So it was like, okay, wait, pump the brakes on everything. Let
Yeah.
me figure this out, because I wasn't going backwards. I have this saying that the reverse button is broken. I don't go backwards, and I did. And now you get to the point where you're like, okay, you know, I have these businesses that I have to run. I have this lifestyle that I have to live, but I have to be smart about it.
Right,
So
right. So let me ask you this. Oh, first of all, shout out to that. Kudos to that. I got to give you a hand clap for that, because that's big. Being a single mother, raising a child on your own, and still making decisions like that, that's big. Fast forward, in your 40s, you retire. It's a different retirement.
it's a different retirement,
It's
right?
not a retirement working and getting a 401k from a company. It's more of, explain that.
So I had two companies that I was running and managing at that time.
Mhm.
And I knew that within the next 5 years, I mean, I love traveling. I've always traveled. But I knew that I wanted to just be able to do whatever it was that I had started, whatever I had going on. I wanted to be able to do that internationally by design. And so I just knew that, okay, well, by 45, that's going to open up that next chapter of my life. And what does that look like? I wanted to be able to dream a different dream
Okay.
versus just the one that I had dreamed of, owning my company and running it. I wanted other people to be able to do that.
But no, so being a CEO and a CFO of your companies,
Mhm.
is that complicated?
No, it was necessary. Again, I have, this entrepreneurship journey. It looks good, and it is. It's amazing.
Hell no,
I'm
that shit hard, girl. Look, I got
woo.
the two businesses. That's it.
So let me tell you, you learn a lot along the way. And where my heart's desire is to help someone that looks like me, right? To be able to help you not go through everything that I went through. Because everybody, you're gonna have your ups and downs,
Right.
your learning lessons. You're gonna have them. But if I can share some of mine, so you don't have that one, then trust me, you're better off. And God had told me, you need to be over your finances. Nobody else but you. And I said, okay. So I had to write, and I said, every single company that I have, I run the money, right? And then also the company. I don't have to do the day to day. I don't have to be the manager, but I'm the one to sign off on it all.
Right.
Like, I want people to own. I empower people, and I put people in the right position, right? To be able to take that position and run with it and make it their own.
So let me ask you this: when you say that some people stole from you, now I realize this being different in my avenue and making more than my average constituents make. I'm going to be like a sore thumb, like sticking out. Me, I think everybody is trying to get a piece of the pie, right? When it comes to you, how did that reality change your mindset when it says, okay, well, I have to not just look over my finances, but at the same time, I have to look out for my back and my livelihood.
Yeah.
So how did that like make you feel?
I learned the lesson. God, Spirit told me, like, hey, you need to. This is happening for you right now, because right now it's just whatever this amount. But where you're going, it's going to be a much larger amount. And how are you going to handle that?
You can handle it on a smaller scale.
From
but-
6 or 60,
Right,
right?
right,
But
right.
6 million,
Oh my goodness.
you might have to be in the dirt.
Oh.
So the Fifth Ward might come out, just get that part out.
Right.
But anywho,
Eric Roberson got a song called Lessons. God has a way of showing us lessons.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and we have to appreciate them.
Yes. Well, if you accept it,
Well, you
because a
should.
lot of people don't accept
Right.
challenges
play the
or
victim.
things. Yeah.
Right.
Or
But
they
when you
don't.
can get out of victim
Let
mentality.
me use another word. They don't want to They don't want to become accountable.
True.
I'm actually this about the entrepreneur side of it. Who taught you your entrepreneur? Like, for instance, we talked about scaling up. You scaled up your business. You talk about how you're diversifying your business, how you have the beauty bar to how you went from a loan officer to a realtor, from a realtor to a broker.
Right.
Right? How did you learn that? What the process of elimination? Like, you was making $230, so $230,000 a year. That's a comfortable lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? If you live in modest,
Right.
right? Like, what was this? I guess this challenge where you wanted more.
But I think the biggest piece for me is growing up. My mother, she had a business. She sold hot water cornbread. I don't know if y'all know what that is. It's a Southern thing.
What is it? Hot water cornbread?
Hot
you
water
said?
cornbread.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
She had the
I
best
got you.
hot water
I got you,
cornbread.
yeah.
She the only hot water cornbread
It's a
on the
Southern
market.
thing,
It's
y'all.
a Southern
It's
thing.
a Southern thing.
But I don't know if y'all are familiar with, there's a store called Fiesta, but she had it in Fiesta. And so we were the first ones to start doing like the sample tasting. So we would fry the cornbread in the store and people would buy it,
wow.
sample it, and then it would sell out. Well, we couldn't, we needed some type of machine or something. Like it just wasn't enough manpower.
It can keep up, yeah.
To keep up. So I think seeing her dream, that piece, like just the perseverance, right? I had a big sign on my wall, and it says, perseverance. Like, that's my thing. I'm going to persevere. But I think there's a part of me that, or maybe the part of me that wants to give back to other people that look like me and share, is because I want people to be able to scale. Like, I feel like I was able to take my mother's dream, even though it was something different, and go to the next level with it.
Got you.
Right? I was able to grow. I've been able to grow successful businesses. I've been able to grow a business and sell it. In business, it's very, very short.
It's like 2 to
5 years.
2 to 5 years.
Yeah. And so when I looked at those numbers, I was just like, it took my breath away, right? And so, I've been able to grow businesses, like I said, and sell it. So that was one of my biggest, greatest accomplishments.
That's
Like
good.
I grew a business and I was able to sell it because a lot of times that doesn't happen.
So basically your mom planted the seed in you.
She did.
That's what it was. Okay, so now you have, now I see the roadmap. I see how it started. She planted the seed. You started watering the seed. So let me ask you this. Does it get lonely at the top?
Um,
When I mean top, you know what I mean, financially. Because it's a lot of stuff you can do that a lot of people around you can't. It's a lot of things you can experience
yeah,
that a lot of people around you can't.
yeah.
So that's why I ask you, does it get lonely at the
I
top?
don't. I mean, I haven't been long. I mean, I guess maybe have some moments, right? But for the most part, I have an amazing family. I have an amazing support system. So not really. If I want to do something, I'll do it by myself. I don't mind. Like I like me, and
That's
I think a lot of
beautiful.
times people don't get into that space of really sitting with the man within, right, and taking time to figure out who you are, what you want, what
Yeah.
you like, what you don't like. But you have to be with yourself, right, and be happy with yourself. So I tell people all the time, like I like me. I rock with me the long way.
Yeah.
So if I want to, take a trip and go see Greece or wherever, I'm going.
right.
I'm not
Come on,
gonna
Greece.
not go because somebody can't go with me.
Come on, Santorini.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Or if I want somebody to go with me, I got enough money to fly them out too.
All right, get fluid out. Shout out, get
You
fluid
get
out.
fluid
Let's
out.
talk about get
Yes, I'm her.
fluid. So let me ask you this. So, you got me distracted with that fluid. I hear you say a lot of stuff about God and a lot of stuff about spirituality, and a lot of people in your position in terms of having a mindset to make money, upscale to make more money, to help more people. They don't have a mindset of spirituality. It's like, man, Louis, this getting this money. Look, I'm too busy to go to church. I'm too busy to, speak on God's name or whatever. But I heard you say a lot of stuff. You mentioned your grandmother. You mentioned your support system, your family. You said spirituality a couple of times that I noticed. So to my question, how much does spirituality play a part in what you do?
That's a huge part. I feel like God lives within me. Right? He says,
Okay.
He made us in His
I got some
image.
holy music now. I
Okay.
gotta go ahead and shout.
So how could I not?
Okay.
I feel like we are in whatever you want to call. You want to say God, you want to say the universe, you want to say source, spirit, whatever it may be. We all come from one, right?
Yes.
And so whatever that oneness is within us. So for me, it's huge because I meditate a lot. I go within a lot because I understand that we manifest from the inside out.
Okay.
So however we're feeling on the inside, whatever we're thinking, visualizing, seeing, desiring on the inside, it's what's going to show up on the outside. So people don't understand that when there's chaos on the outside, it's because there's chaos on the inside. Right?
I like
and
that.
You have to go within and sit and reflect. And a lot of times, I tell people all the time, like, you're praying, you're talking, but when do you take the time to listen? And you listen when you go within in meditation, and that's where you can get the answers. That's where you can get the peace, right? And so it's so important to have that because if you don't, you're just energetically putting out chaos, and that's what's just going to come back to you. So
I like that. That's a good answer. I'm gonna use that.
all right.
If you got chaos on the inside,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
gonna have chaos on the outside.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna let that sit.
Yeah, let it sit.
And let
Because it's
it-
peace. What you gotta say? Peace, be still.
Yeah.
There's peace within. When you, it's important to have peace within.
That's good.
So when you say lonely at the top or at the top, like I'm at peace, right? So hence why I can travel and do the things that whatever it is that my heart desires, I can do it, and I don't have to have the
Multiple
rodeo
people.
with me.
Yes.
I don't,
I like that.
no.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
So let me I'm gonna steal some of that, by the way. I'm letting you know.
Hey.
So let me ask you this. I want you to get into your ego a little bit, all right?
Okay.
Name some accomplishments, some awards, or some things that you accomplished that you was proud of.
Ooh, there's a lot, but just a couple of
Give
them.
me your ego. I want you, for a second.
Ego.
Yeah,
Puff
come on.
my chest.
Yeah,
up
go
with
ahead.
me. No, I think one that I'm proud of is top 30 most influential women in Houston. Right,
okay.
that was big for me because I have a heart and passion for women. Right, and so to know that I do influence women in a positive way meant
big.
a lot to me.
That's big.
Right. I think the other one was I was Remax's first African American female broker owner of the year. So making history, right? I think that every time I've pulled up a seat to the table, in my mind I know that I'm creating a seat for someone else that looks like me. So accolades like that are important to me. I remember being my first award outside of real estate was DMAR's top 50 professionals and entrepreneurs. And I remember being a young entrepreneur sitting there and looking at the stage and seeing the legacy and the trailblazers and the super trailblazers, you know, and I was like, oh my gosh, like one of these days, like I desire to be, a trailblazer. And I think it was like maybe 5 years later, 6 years later, or something like that. I was brought back and I was awarded Super Trailblazer. And the reason why that was important was, one, because, yes, I am a trailblazer for other people. I am a champion. Like, I champion other people. And so, but for me to sit in that audience and have that dream and then be able to live it, I knew that I would be able to be that for someone else. So every time I walk across that stage, I know that there is someone in the audience that's looking at me and having that vision and seeing me and understanding that it's possible because, oh, she looks like me, right? If she can do it, so can I.
Right.
So it's not so much about me getting that award as it is for someone else to see me receive that award and they, their dream can come true because that was somebody else doing it and it was my dream at one point. So
That's good. That's good. So let me ask you this: Who is your go-to when you get tired? When you need some influence? Since you're influential, who influences you, right? Because I always talk about our elders. We need our elders, right? Our elders are people that was here prior to us, and we need those for leveling, balancing, grounding, right? So who is that person or persons or things? What is that for you?
I don't necessarily know that I have influencers. I have my rocks, right, that I go to, and that's my father.
Okay. Shout out to the dads. All right.
Shout out to the my dad, he's my sounding board. And that's really all I need, because for me, I live my life by design. What life do I desire to live? One question that I think people should always ask themselves is, what do you want?
Yeah.
Right? And I ask myself that question quite often because I will achieve something like, what do you want now? Because God not through with me. I'm not done, right? So what's next?
Right.
I'm always asking what's next. But for me, because I do live my life and I'm not looking like trying to live someone else's life,
Right.
I'm truly authentic to myself and what life do I want to live. I have to have a sounding board sometimes because I'm like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I can, and but my dad is that one because he knows me and my younger sister as well. They know me through and through. So I think a lot of times, I love the fact that they give me grace and they encourage me to give myself grace because when you're an entrepreneur and you're pushing, that's becomes a program within you. And like right now, they are very intentional about making sure that I understand to just this phase of life that I'm in right now is what I asked for, is what I prayed for, right? The retirement, the being able to wake up in the morning and say, what do you want to do today? Not having such a busy schedule. A lot of times I'm like, okay, I need to do something. And they're like, no, you don't. You need to do just what you're doing. This is what life looks like when you've handled your business early.
Right.
You've handled your business. You've done what you were supposed to do. My youngest son is graduating from high school.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so it's like I did the work early on so that I could be exactly where I am right now today. So
That's good. Let me ask you a heavy question, right? I normally ask these people. I normally don't ask people these questions, but it's a simple question, but a lot of people don't ask it, right? How important is money to you?
Mm. Money is a tool,
Okay,
right?
break that down.
So for me, what's important to me are my life experiences, um, my contributions. So I have these things I always say. I have three most important questions, and it's what do I want to experience in life, how do I want to grow, and what are my contributions, right? Because I'm the type of person, like, I have some of the most amazing life experiences I've had. Maybe I can write it should be a movie. My life should be a movie. So dope. But also, I'm like, how, you have to take the time to grow in order to get to the next stage, the next experience. But we're all here collectively. So what's my part to give back? All right. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, money is a tool for me to be able to do all of those things. It's not necessarily just about the money, but the money is necessary for me to live the financially free life, to be able to have the things that I desire to have and go to places I desire to go. But, people are important, more important than money, but money is a tool.
I got you. Okay, that was a corporate answer right there. So she did that. She just skated past that. Look, but I'm not gonna go back to it. So I was gonna ask you the same question again. How important is money to you?
It's important.
It's very important.
But it's very important. But again, we have to understand why it's important.
Okay,
Not just because it's money.
Because I'm asking that question to lead off to my next question. But
Okay.
yeah, because go ahead.
No, you got to be on there talking. Lord have mercy.
So look, the reason why I asked that question because, and you know this as well as I do, you're from Houston. I'm from New Orleans. I've been here 12 years. I've lived everywhere, and my thing is this: it's the haves and have-nots. That's the reality, right? I ain't talking about Tyler Perry show,
Right.
right? It's the haves and have-nots. So the thing is, in order for you to be happy, sometimes it requires money. Sometimes, not all the time,
Yeah.
right? If you want that house, that condo, that trip, that purse, that ring, that certain hairstyle, those shoes,
Right.
it requires what? Money. Versus being, look, shout out to my school teachers.
Hey,
look,
I was one of those.
Hey, look, shout out to my school. Look, versus making 40 grand a year, it's going to be hard to do that.
Absolutely.
Right.
Right.
So now, money, it requires money to do certain things. So a woman of your caliber, now, not Adam, not me, because I'm not intimidated by nothing, because my experience in life was unknown, But to the average person, man, right, that approaches you, or maybe not because of intimidation, you don't think the money or the success factor plays a part?
Well, I'm not your average girl. So
Okay.
I don't date an average man.
Oh, talk about it.
So,
Talk about
I
it.
mean, and it's no diss to anyone,
Okay.
right? I think it's important to date your caliber,
Okay.
right? I mean, ooh, Lord have mercy. Here we go with this right here. Here we go with this. Yeah, so to me, like I said, you knowing what you want is important.
Mhm.
Because again, money is just a tool. So everything is not just about money. Some women, you can meet an amazing man and he checks every single box and he may not have the money. So what are you going to do? You're going to throw him back in the sea?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, basically.
Well,
I'm going to answer that question, yeah.
you got to ask yourself, is it going to work, right?
No.
Because for me, I can go out to eat by myself. Like, we had the conversation of what I like to do. Like,
Right.
I'm not always out, but when I'm out, I'm at the theater, I'm at the art museums, I'm traveling. So it costs money to do the things that I want to
Yes.
do. I can go out to eat by myself
Very
and it's
elegant.
$150,
Right.
right? So is that fair to me dating someone and this is my norm? And it's like, wait, it doesn't even make sense.
Right.
Right? So I don't date average just because I'm not average.
Mhm.
Right? So
All right, so look, I'm going to use
don't
these words.
send me no hate messages,
Nah,
people.
it's not that. It's just what your preference is, and that's fair. But my thing is, I look at it like this, and I agree with you, but I'm going to use this term, and this goes back to a little bit in the Bible. It says equally yoked. I think individuals, when they meet each other, I'm not going to say that they're going to be equally in everything, but they have the potential to be equal.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, right?
Yeah.
And they give room for each other to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the beauty of it about evolution, I'm preaching right now, y'all.
Yeah.
Pass the
I
collection
love
plate.
it. I know. I love it. Because yes.
The evolution of it is that you guys got the benefit to grow together, and that's the option. But a woman on your caliber, I'm just saying, I'm just giving a hypothetical.
Okay.
Say Ige and Adam. Ige makes, say, I'm just gonna throw a number. This is not your total. You make, say, network, net profit 850. Adam 250. I say it's not gonna work. Even though that's large sums of money, and we could look at it on a relative state, 85,000 to 25,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's not gonna work. You know why? Because you're operating in a stratosphere of a millionaire,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm operating on a 100. I'm making a lot of money, but it's still not on a millionaire status. So
Right.
my mindset is not going to be the same. So the moves are going to be a little different. That's why it would always going to be a back and forth. Now, a lot of people, I want you guys' comments on that. A lot of people going to disagree with me on that, but I see it all the time. I see that, either the man makes so much money and the woman doesn't, vice versa, and it never works because it's always a push and a pull.
Right. Because, whoever's making the most money feel like they the
Boss.
Yeah.
The boss.
Absolutely.
So, I want to ask you
and
that.
women, I think when men, some women, let me say that, sometimes naturally, you can son a man. That's what I tell my sons all the time. I'm like, make sure you have your own, you know how to take care of yourself, because if you don't, and that woman has to come in, she's going to son you, and you're going to be one of her kids.
Absolutely.
And that's the worst thing ever. Right?
Absolutely.
So I do agree with you wholeheartedly. Me and my friend were having that conversation just about our past relationships and why they didn't work. And we were not equally yoked with those people, right? So when we look at where we are and the lifestyle that we live and desire to live and where we want to go, our dreams align. It makes sense.
Yes.
It's not like I'm dreaming up here and I'm saying, I want, to make sure we have international property. I want to get a house over in Zanzibar or wherever, right? Like,
shout out to Zanzibar. Okay.
Right.
Okay, I see you. All right.
It's not like, what are you talking, how, like, it doesn't go over his head, right? We can have those conversations, and it's like, okay, well, we move this around, and, you got this over here, and we can make that happen if we need to make that happen, or we can work towards making that happen. When you are, like you said, at 800 and somebody else is at 200, it's a totally different lifestyle, because a lot of times when people are at 800, they live in a billionaire lifestyle anyway. They living over their means, and even at 200.
Right.
So you're kind of like, it's a tug of war.
It is. It
doesn't end.
Because a lot of people don't do therapy, and a lot of people are really into their ego, and that's a whole nother story. I'm not gonna get into that, but so let me ask you this: mentorship. Do you offer mentorship to young little girls, young little black girls, or even younger women that see you, and it's like, oh man, I see Ige, man, I can't even get close to her. If I do, I'm so intimidated to say the right thing. What do I see? Because you're a busy woman.
Yeah.
You're a busy woman, and you walk with your head high, right? And that's very intimidating for somebody that never seen that.
Yeah, and I've heard that before too. Just when women get a chance to know me, because to know me is to love me, right? And so when they do, it's like, oh my gosh, you're so cool, you're so down to earth, you're so, and it's like when I first saw you, I was so intimidated, and I do exude confidence, right? I'm a very confident woman.
Oh, you
but
mean
that,
now? You mean now? You mean now?
I am very confident, and so sometimes people see that confidence, and it's like it's frightening.
Yes.
Yeah. But I am approachable, and my favorite thing to do is mentor young women. One of my passions is just, especially when I had the brokerage, and even now, I do it on a daily basis, but for another woman that looks like me to sit across from me, right, to be able to see the idea that it's possible. I love to tell the story in my office. I have a really big mirror behind my desk. And so I was very intentional about putting that mirror there because I wanted women to sit across from me and see themselves, but also sitting across from me, they see the idea that it's possible. Because
I like it.
people have asked me like, well, who was your inspiration? Who did you look up to coming up? Well, there wasn't a lot of me. I'm that for women now, right?
Yes.
Or for young women now, which is what I love. I mean, yeah, we had the Oprahs and, the Beyoncés, but I couldn't touch them.
Right.
I wasn't in the room with them. And so I think it's very important for women to be able to sit across from me, talk to me, be mentored by women like me,
Yeah.
because it just helps to catapult those dreams. It makes it feel so much realer and obtainable. So that's important, extremely important.
That's good. I sense you have a good heart. That's what I'm a good sense of character. I sense you have a good heart. And the people that come on the show, they normally have one thing in common.
Mm-hmm.
They have a sense of spirituality.
Okay.
They acknowledge spirituality, and they know where their help comes from.
Oh yeah.
And they voice it. So no matter if they're like talking reckless or whatever, they have this. I don't know. I have this type of discernment. I don't know. I guess it's God given, but I could tell. When I first saw you at the event, shout out to Latoya for having the event. I saw you speaking. I was like, okay, she's confident. She knows what she wants. She knows what she's doing. But I said she has a good heart though.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm not saying that just on the camera. I'm saying that in real
I
life.
do.
You know what I'm saying?
I tell my friends, I say I have a good soul.
Yeah, you do. You have a good heart. And it's like a grandmother's soul.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves grandmothers, right?
Yeah.
Come on in here, get y'all some of this hot
I know,
bread.
that's me. Come on in here, baby. Let
Right.
me take care of
No
you.
matter what I
You
got,
hungry?
that's right. Let me get out for that right now. Okay? Let me get out for that. So anyway, look, let me get last question before I get out of here. Then the future. What's the future for Ige?
Ooh, very, very bright. I always say God not done with me. But I'm so excited about my future. I feel like my girlfriend had said the other day, or a couple of weeks back, she said, this is intermission. She said, enjoy intermission. And, you kind of have act 1 and act 2, right? And then you have intermission. And I think for me, I can really appreciate it because I'm a theater brat. And so it's so funny that act 2 is always just like, that ending, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's amazing, right? So I'm so looking forward to act 2. But intermission, I'm enjoying right now. I'm enjoying this current manifestation, and that was to really just be able to chill a little bit, right? Do the things that I love to do. I love traveling. I love, being able to speak to other women, and just not have to be so busy and just I'm enjoying this time. So I'm enjoying intermission, and then I think Act 2 will be, whatever God says, whatever that dream is next. I mean,
I got you.
I'm still creating these dreams.
That's a good thing. You're a creator. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So I'm going to ask you three words,
Okay.
and just give me the meaning. It could be one word. It could be whatever, how you feel. I'm going to ask you 3. First word, success.
Ooh, success. So you want me just to answer it in 3 words?
Oh, just answer it, how you want to answer it. It ain't got to be a long answer, just.
Yeah, so success for me, so I actually wrote down like what success looked like for me, because it's different for everyone, right? So I don't want anyone to say, oh my goodness, well, if I don't have these things then I'm not successful. So I think everyone should ask themselves, what does it look like, in your vision? For me, it was for me to just be able to get up and do what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, want to go where I want to go,
Freedom.
when I want to go. The freedom, right? So that was that. Mainly for me was the freedom, and then also my legacy, right?
Okay.
So that's that next level of success for me, because I've gained the freedom, but it's like it don't stop there. So I'm always
passing it on.
Passing it on.
Passing the baton. Next word, woman.
Ooh, woman. I love that. My gosh, amazing, powerful. We are it, and that's what I wish women. I know society has done a number on us. But my God, if men and women could truly understand and value women, I don't even know the word for how amazing life would be, just because we bring this essence that's necessary for us, for our children, for our men, right? We have this intuition that I understand men have it too, but the essence of a woman is just unmatched, right? When you have, I always say, every time I look at just an amazing man, I'm like, who behind him? Because 9 times out of 10, he has somebody amazing behind him, right? And so, like as a woman, I can walk into a room and fill a room, I can tell my, no, don't,
Yeah.
You don't gotta, I don't need to explain why. I just intuitively know. So, women, I want us to understand our true essence and our true power and take that back, because we are some powerful, powerful beings.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome. Last word. Black.
Go!
She scared me for a second.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Beyond beautiful. Oh my God. I tell people, I was just at the museum Sunday. I taken the girls to the museum, and there was a exhibit that was taking place, and then they had a film in the in the end part of the exhibit. And I just remember leaving out of there, and I was just like, oh my gosh, Black people, we are everything. Our culture. I'm just so proud to be Black. I don't care what's going on. I have no desire to be any other race but Black.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's beautiful. I like that. Yeah. That's beautiful. So before we get out of here, we got to give you information to the people, what you got coming up, events you got coming, opportunities that you have. If somebody wants to buy or if somebody wants to partner, how can they get in contact with you? And I'm not talking about guys. Look, all right. Let me go ahead and put a disclaimer out there. I'm not trying to holler.
But please don't.
No, I'm not trying to holler. We talking about money here. All right, business. All right. Yeah. So how can someone get in contact with you for 1, business, 2, partnership, 3, mentorship?
So everything is Ige Johnson. That's the brand. Ige Johnson. So my website, you can book an appointment with me on my website. Contact information is there. So definitely going to my website, I think would be the best way. And like I said, booking an appointment. Events I have coming up, I don't know that I have much going on right now that I can think off the top of my head. I do an event every year, which is my give back called Envision, which is near and dear to my heart, where I teach the art and science of manifesting. It's more of we do vision board, but it's so much more than that. Yeah. And so that is because I want people to understand that you can co-create your life. Right?
Absolutely.
That's very important to me.
Mindset.
Mindset is everything. I teach mindset every single month. But that's super important that people understand that, because I think, like I said, society has done a number on us to where we have, been programmed that everything exists outside of us and we are powerless. And that is so not true. And so I want people to take their power back and understand that you can. And, we are the co-creators of our lives. So
there it is. I see. Look, this is what I see in you. I see a first lady in you, but that's just me. I'm not saying you're going to marry a preacher, but
No, don't do that.
Yeah, no. You give me that Juanita Bonham spirit.
Oh, goodness gracious.
No more sheets in this. Nah. Guys, look, we had a good time up here, guys. Look, I hope you got some of these nuggets that Ige hit you with, because a lot of stuff I learned, that I didn't know that she had going on. But hope, especially the women, man. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody that you guys need to, I guess, I don't want to say listen to, but take heed.
Yeah.
Take heed. Yeah. Take heed, right?
Sure.
The old church word.
Church word.
Take heed.
But I agree with that. Yeah, I'm somebody. People say, "Oh, I want to be like you when I grow up," and I'm like, I'm somebody to be like. So.
Yeah, that's right. I like that. So, guys, look, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Look, I had a special guest. Look, thank you for coming up here. I know you're busy. Thank you. So, Mr. DJ KO, you guys know what it is. Culture Distinct. Much love to 605. Much love to Red Coral. You already know what it is, guys. Look, we gonna be in these streets. Not the streets like that, but we gonna be like in the streets. We have another couple of guests coming up, couple of professional athletes coming up, talking about their financial situations and stuff like that, how they got out, how they started from a millionaire to broke, back up to being a millionaire. So, guys, man, look, make sure you guys continue to tune in. And look, Ige, one more time, what's your information?
IgeJohnson.com.
IgeJohnson.com. That was easy, right? Ige. How you spell Ige?
I-G-E.
I-G-E.
Yes, but it's pronounced Ige.
It's Nigerian. It's Nigerian.
It is. I'll give you a little story on history on that. It's
Go
from
ahead.
the Yoruba tribe. And they actually pronounce it Ige.
Ige.
So it means born feet first. And I was.
Breech birth.
Breech birth. I came out feet first, ready to rock and roll. And I'm here.
You here. You outside. She
I'm
outside. Outside, guys. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys tune in to the Culturally Distinct Podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a friend what we got going on. I appreciate you guys, man. I love you guys, man. Look, word of the day. We always leave with a word of the day. You want to give it?
Perseverance.
Perseverance. Make sure you persevere, all right? Peace.